All right, let's do a walk around of this 2014 Toyota Highlander crossover SUV. It's been updated for 2014 on the exterior and the interior. It's about 2.7 inches longer overall now than it used to be. And the upside to that is you've got a bit more front seat legroom. In fact, the Highlander has among the most generous front seat legroom in the class. And you've got a bit more second row legroom also. And addressing one of the big complaints with this vehicle in its previous incarnation, they've increased the amount of cargo capacity behind the third row. And let's see if this thing will open for me. Open sesame. It's kind of bulky. It's kind of a pain. I'm not a big fan of these electric things. I'm pushing it, nothing's happening. I'm pushing it, nothing's happening. Then you hit it and the button beeps, and then in a glacially gimpy old lady kind of way it opens. I would much prefer it's manual, but rant aside, you can adjust the opening of the liftgate to accommodate lower ceiling parking garages and so on, and that's unique. A lot of SUVs or crossovers don't have that feature. But to get back to the cargo capacity, behind the third row here you've now got about 13 and change cubic feet versus 10 before, so it's significantly better. On the other hand, if you drop the third row here, the total cargo capacity is actually down relative to the previous generation Highlander. And incidentally, you'll see that these third row seats are really for kids only. This is the back view. They're really thin, they're upright. There's not a whole lot of legroom. Let's go around the side and look at it. I'll push the button here and watch the gimpy granny closing, safety button beeping, liftgate close. I should go around this side, probably gives you a better view. In their defense, Toyota has done a lot to make accessibility good. You'll see that there's clearly illustrated diagrams about the steps that you use here to get the second row to slide forward or backward to ease the access. Let's drop these down and slide it forward. One touch doesn't take a lot of strength. But as you can see, if you're pretty much over 10 years old, you're not going to want to sit back there. You're going to sit in the fetal position. There's not a whole lot of leg room. And that's just the reality with these not quite full-size three-row crossover SUVs. You know, they're good for kids in a pinch, and that's about it. One thing that they've changed on the second row for the new model year, it used to be that the middle section here was removable so that you could, for example, put skis or something like that, even boards if you wanted to, from the back to the front. Well, they've eliminated that now. So this is the row that you get, or you can opt for a pair of captain's chairs, which are really nice. Essentially, they've made it a little bit more luxurious rather than utilitarian. The drivetrains pretty much carry over. The base engine is still the 2.7 liter 4, and the optional engine is a 3.5 liter V6. Let's take a look here. I'll pop the hood. Oops. Here we go. The big change is that the V6 engine now is paired with a more modern, more up-to-date 6-speed automatic. Previously, it was available. There we go. There it is down there. Only with a 5-speed automatic. The 4-cylinder did get the 6-speed. So gas mileage has improved slightly, not a whole lot, but slightly relative to last year. And that's something to take into account, by the way, with these crossovers. A lot of people buy them under the impression that I'm going to save a lot of money on gas. Well, the fact is you probably won't. If you compare the gas mileage delivered by this model with the V6 compared to something like a Dodge Durango with a V8, it's really not that much of a difference. You're talking about 3-4 miles per gallon, something like that. Whereas the big V8 can do real work and can, in the case of that Durango, pull about 7,200 pounds. The max capacity on this thing is 5,000, which is actually good in its class. Some of the other ones, the Mazda CX-9, can't pull nearly as much as this thing can. Let's take a look at the interior, which is all new. They have changed the dash, and they've changed the layout of the center console and of the LCD display. This one has the larger 8-inch screen touchscreen. Let me turn things on so you can get a better look. Some of the things that are kind of cool about this new interior, they've got this package shelf here, which is really handy for tossing your wallet or your keys or your iPod. Yep. And they've got a little cut through here that'll let you connect through down to the USB ports here and here. Another thing that's kind of neat, rotate the camera over here, you've got this monstrously deep center console. I mean, it's huge. You could pretty much, you could bury a 12-pack in there with ice, no problem, if you wanted to. And I also like this sliding top that they've got. That's kind of neat. And overall, it looks kind of beefy and manly. You know, you got a nice big meaty gear shifter here. And it feels beefy and meaty out on the road. Let me step outside again and show you some of that. They have, in addition to increasing the length of it, it's wider by a bit more than half an inch. The track, both front and rear, has been increased. So it feels really big and beefy and solid and planted on the road in a straight line, at any rate. The handling deficits, though, become apparent if you toss these things into a corner. They're pretty heavy. This thing, even though it's lighter than the previous generation, is still well over 4,000 pounds empty. So, you know, you put a couple of people in here and you're pushing 4,500 pounds probably, and that's a lot of weight. The traction control intervenes early and often to let you know not to drive this thing too aggressively in the corners. But driven at moderate/legal speeds, it's fine, it's quiet, it's comfortable, it's smooth, and that's basically what the people who are shopping these kinds of vehicles want. At any rate, read the rest of the review up at epautos.com. Please leave your comments, either good or bad. Let me know what you think, and we will catch up with you next time.